Peace and blessings, Greater Hope Christian family. This is Pastor Allen once again, and I'm here tonight to share with you another testimony of someone who is near and dear to all of our hearts. I want to share with you an interview that I had done with Ariell Green. Some of you know the story, and some of you may not. Almost 2 years ago to the day, February of 2013, Ariell had gone down to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore to attend a homecoming dance. And it turned out to be a tragic event in which she had a death-threatening asthma attack. I'm going to let her tell her story. I'm not going to give it away. But I'm excited about what the Lord had done in her life. And you will be excited when you hear her give her testimony and share, as Psalms 35:28 tells us, that the tongue of the righteous shall share the righteousness of God and his praises all day long. I want you to sit back and I want you to listen to her excitement, listen to her as she describes the whole tragic event, but more importantly, as she describes the miracle that occurred in her life. She's even began to write a book called 25 Minutes, a Miracle. I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to let her share her own testimony. We'll be right back. So Ariell,
Yes.
how have you been?
Fine.
How are you feeling? How is life?
Good.
I just want to say I appreciate you doing this interview. So many people need to hear your testimony. So I'm so glad. I'm thanking you in advance for doing this.
Welcome.
Oh. So I'm not going to hold you long. So I just want to, first things first, I want us to go back to that day. First, do you remember the date?
It's February 17th, 2013.
February 17th, 2013.
13. Oh.
Okay, that was the day that changed your life.
Yeah.
How did it begin?
Well, I was coming home from a college trip. I was at uni for the weekend. Came home, had asthma attack here.
So you was on. Let me just make sure that I understand what you said. So you're saying you was on a college homecoming trip, and you had an asthma attack before you left home?
No, before I left UMIS. I was coming home from there.
From
UMIS, University of Maryland.
University of Maryland. Okay. And what happened?
Well, I got in the house. I used my nebulizer. It's like a asthma treatment.
Asthma treatment.
But it didn't work, so I had to go to the hospital. And I got there. I was like barely breathing. My face was turning blue.
How old were you?
18.
18. Okay.
Yeah. It was a week before my 19th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So you came back from University of Maryland, homecoming, and you was having trouble breathing. You rushed in the house, grabbed your nebulizer to try to help you breathe. That didn't work.
No. It's like, it felt like my chest got tighter, so
Wow.
I got scared.
Wow. So you were scared?
Yes, I was.
Had you ever felt that sensation before?
I mean, I had asthma attacks before. It wasn't like really, it wasn't bad. Like I was here. When I got to the hospital, it was really bad.
Okay. Okay. So basically, because I want to set this up for you, because basically at this point you're just a regular, average. Well, other than your beauty, we know you weren't. Average. But in all seriousness, you're a regular old 18-year-old.
Yep.
Did you have a strong faith in God?
Yes.
At 18?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So maybe it wasn't regular.
No. Not really.
So you get to the hospital, and you're having trouble breathing all the way from your home to the hospital. And by the way, how far drive was it from your house to the hospital?
It's 3 minutes away.
3 minutes away. Okay.
It's an AI DuPont.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 minutes later, you get to AI DuPont's emergency room, and tell us what happened.
Well, when I first walked in, the lady at the front desk, she was like, "What's wrong?" and stuff. So I was with my friend, so my friend told her, so she can't breathe, blah, blah, blah. She just telling her what happened. So she took me into a room, triage room, and put me on another nebulizer treatment. But it wasn't working, so I got up to tell her that it wasn't working. I collapsed at the door.
So you had strength enough. So they put you in one of those triage rooms, and after your friend told them you couldn't breathe, what the whole problem was, they gave you another nebulizer treatment.
Yep.
And then you got up to find a nurse to tell the nurse that it was not working.
Yeah.
How much time had gone by between the time you?
What do you mean?
From the time you got to the hospital and the time that the nurse came back in after you told her that the first nebulizer treatment didn't work?
It's about 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes. So you were on a nebulizer for about 20 minutes trying to make that work?
No, for about 10 minutes. But when I walked in, they didn't, it was a...
Oh, you had to wait?
Yeah.
Okay.
For 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. So the nurse comes back in after you inform her that your nebulizer treatment is not working.
Yep.
What was her response?
I don't know, because I didn't get to talk to her. When I walked to the door, I collapsed at the door.
So when you went to the door to tell the nurse or inform the staff that it wasn't working, you passed out.
Yeah.
Wow. And after you passed out, did you come back to again?
I remember when I was there, I remember seeing white lights and people in my face talking to me, but I didn't know who they were, so I didn't say anything back. Then all went black, and then I felt my chest jumping up and down. Wow. It really burned.
Wow.
So I was like, "What's going on here?" I was confused.
So you were talking to yourself while you were blacked out. You were still conscious, so to speak.
Yeah.
Your eyes weren't open, but you were aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
How long do you think you were aware of your surroundings before you totally went black?
The whole time.
The whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. So, now, at this point, we understand that they officially inform your parents that you're in a coma state?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're comatose at this point?
Yes.
How long were you in a coma?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, before we get to you coming to, because we know, and the reason why we're doing this interview, because this is not really a health story, it's not really a medical story, this is really a spiritual miracle story.
Yes.
So, let's go to the time, because as believers, we know we can do this. Let's, if you can discuss at all, any activity, any spiritual activity you had while in your coma.
Well, I remember waking up. I don't remember I remember the coma some, but not really. So when I was waking up, I walked to a church. So I was walked there. And they said go to church or whatever. So I walked there. And it looked like our church. So I walked in.
This is a dream. This is a vision. This is a vision, if you will.
Yeah.
You woke up in a vision, and you were in a church that looked very similar to our church, Greater Hope Christian Fellowship.
Yes.
Okay.
And It was like two figures, one was black and one was light. And the figure talked to me, the dark one. He said, repent for your sins are going to hell. So I was like, I'm going to hell? Like, what's going on?
Wow. So this figure speaks to you. Could you see the figure's face?
It's really dark.
It's really dark, but you know it was the presence of some type of a figure, some type of a person. And it said, are you going to repent for your sins? Were you scared when you heard that?
Yes, I was like, where's God?
Where's God? Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I was like, God, I'm sorry for whatever I did. I don't know what I did. I understand at that point. Then I repented and something said, say Mom. So I said Mom. I kept calling her. I woke up.
So after you repented, something told you, another voice told you to call for your mother? And did you feel a sense of peace at that time?
Yeah.
And then after that, you woke up and you asked for your mom?
Yes.
And what was her reaction when you first spoke?
Well, I was calling her for like ever. Like, I feel like she didn't answer, so I kept calling her.
Were you verbally calling her physically, or were you calling her in your spirit?
Calling her verbally.
You called her verbally?
Because she answered, and after a while she answered. She said, Ariell, Mommy's right here, you know, talking to me. And I said, I want to go home. And she said, you can't go home. So I was like, why? You know, she was like, because you had to get better first. I said, I'm not sick. Why gotta get better? You know, I'm confused.
Oh.
So she was talking to me. And then I went to sleep. The next day, it was so black to me. I got to see I was blind.
Now let me, I want to come back to that, but I want to revisit a major occurrence in the emergency room. Because I want the world to hear the first miracle that occurred in your life. And that actually was in the emergency room, because when you blacked out, you were brain dead for how long?
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, what a lot of people probably don't know about you is that you always had a desire to be a neurologist.
Yeah.
Now, wanting to be a neurologist, did you look up, or were you already aware of what are the dangers, or what is the threshold for a person to be brain dead? How long can you be brain dead?
7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yes. They usually call it after 7.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
And you were brain dead for 25 minutes.
Oh.
That was the first miracle of God.
Yes.
Now, when you came to, you said something else very interesting, and this also was probably the second miracle. You spoke, because we understand for weeks you could not speak.
Yes.
So that's a miracle as well, is that you did speak when you first opened your eyes, and you physically said, Mom.
Yeah.
Did you understand what was going on?
No. I just know something told me to call her, so I did.
Were you aware of your condition? Did you know that you had just come out of a coma?
No.
Did you know that you had a bad asthma attack?
No.
So you didn't know, the first miracle you was not yet aware of, that you were brain dead for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
At what point did you learn that?
My mom talked to me and told me, like, after a while, excuse me, she told me that you just kept saying, they told her 25 minutes that I was on, and then you said 25 minutes, so you kept saying it to her. So.
Me?
Yes.
When I was in the hospital?
Yeah.
You remember me saying that?
No, but she told me that.
Oh, okay, I kept saying 25 minutes.
She said you kept saying 25 minutes.
Yeah, I was already celebrating a miracle, and I knew at that point that God had his hand on you. I didn't know, technically, I didn't know what the threshold was. As you said, 7 minutes. It's hard for a person to recover being brain dead after 7 minutes. But even as a layman, I knew that 25 minutes had to be a miracle.
A long time.
Yeah. And I remember the doctor, when the doctor came to give us your first, your diagnosis slash your current progress, and he had mentioned that, in so many words, your recovery did not look good.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make it.
Yeah,
I was supposed to be dead.
You were supposed to be dead. Yeah.
Or brain dead at least.
Yes. So now we wake up. We call for your mom. You're now aware of your surroundings, but as you mentioned earlier, you cannot see, you cannot speak, but you could hear. Did you have use of your arms?
No, my arms were contracted, and they still are a little bit,
Okay.
but my arms and feet were contracted, but not that bad though. Like, it's because when
Could you do that?
no,
You could not do that then.
my hands were like my wrists were bent down, like when you shoot a jump shot. Like,
Your wrists were like that.
Yeah. My arms were curled up.
What about your feet and your legs? Could you have use of your legs?
Yes, but my feet were dropped. I dropped foot. Like when your foot goes all the way down, like a ballerina.
Okay, so your feet were at a 45-degree angle.
No, they're dropped all the way down.
Oh.
Like a ballerina when she dances.
Oh, like a 90-degree angle. Okay.
90 degree.
Wow. At what point were you aware that you were in bad shape?
We was sitting out in the front on the unit 2A. I said, Mom, I want to get up. Like, I want to go home, you know.
How many days was it when you said you wanted to get up and go home?
It was like a month. So I was like, Mom, I'll go home. She's like, you can't go home. You got to get better. I was like, yes, I can. I can go home.
Because in your mind you felt good.
Yeah, I'm telling her. I'm like, yes, I can. She's like, no, you can't. I'm like, yes, I can. I'm telling Mama, I remember I did that. I'm like, yeah, I can. She's like, fine, get up and walk. Come on, let's go. That's why I couldn't get up.
Wow.
So I was like, I started crying.
Wow.
I was like, why can't I get up?
And you started crying.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful to be able to do this interview. And I noticed from the time we started, as difficult as much of the story is, you've been smiling all the way through. So
Yeah.
obvious you've gotten the joy of the Lord, and you've come into a place of acceptance of where you are, even though we're never satisfied because you're constantly recovering.
Mm-hmm.
But I've talked to you several times. You feel like this whole
It's just a test, you know.
it's a test.
God put you through things so that He can get glory.
That's right. Step back in time a little bit, and if you remember, because I remember hearing bits and pieces of some of the pessimism, the negativity, or the of some of your doctors with regards to your recovery.
Yeah, they're like she's not gonna recover. She does. She can't talk or she can't see. She'll be brain dead. They said I wasn't gonna walk again. They said I wasn't gonna be able to use my hands again. I wasn't gonna see again.
Wow.
But now I can move my hands some, and I can see perfectly.
Amen.
And I can stand pivot. I can walk with a walker. So.
Wow. Jesus is Lord.
Yeah.
Let me ask you one last question. When people do these interviews with other stars, one of the most popular questions they always end on is this one. It's a very stuffy question, and I don't know if you thought about this. What do you want your legacy to be?
Well, I just want people to understand the power of God, and that if I can walk out of being dead for 25 minutes, you can do anything.
You can do anything.
Anything is possible for God only.
Amen. Amen. Wow. What a powerful, powerful testimony. I am so proud of her. You just don't know how I enjoyed, number one, doing the interview, and number two, laughing and talking with her, even knowing in the back of my mind where she was on death's bed just 2 years ago. What a difference a day could make. This should inspire all of us to take life more seriously, to be appreciative of the time that we have on earth, be appreciative of who we are and the gifts that we have been given. And the biggest gift of all that God has given us is time, and even to some degree our health. We should be praising God and blessing God for everything that He has done for us. As you can see in that interview, she's not depressed, she's not bitter, she holds no grudges. She feels like it has been a gift for her to be a part of a miracle that God has provided for not just her life, but for the life of others. And that's the reason why I wanted to do this interview and show this video. David said, I will bless the Lord at all times, and His praises shall continually be in my mouth. I bless Him on good days, I bless Him on bad days, I bless Him when I'm up, I bless Him when I'm down, I'm blessing when I'm healthy, I bless Him when I'm not healthy. The praises of God should always be upon our lips. I'm so excited, and you should be too. Bless God. Thank you once again for this time. Until we see you again with another testimony. Peace and blessings.